There we go. Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday night here at the BTA network. Because what happened was there was supposed to be a threat of some bad weather for a couple of our hosts. But the good news is it never materialized. But we did it out of abundance of precaution.
It's called, what happened last night was we in Iowa specifically were under an enhanced risk of severe weather. The thing is that the cap was so high and so low that the storm development could not get high enough to produce the strong storms necessary.
Sorry about the dog.
Okay.
You're fine.
Basically, think about it like this. The cap, when you're talking about severe weather and weather in general, is like this.
Yeah.
If this cannot be broken through because the air coming up is not hot enough to go past the cap, it'll pool right underneath it like the water does, and it will just sit there and sit there and sit there. So we were supposed to get severe weather, including potentially long track tornadoes into an exceeding EF3 range, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think this is one of those times where meteorologists, I think in some cases, were probably glad they were wrong.
Well, and here's the thing. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. When people try and predict weather, there are a lot of unpredictabilities. But as far as weather predictions are considered, we'd much rather prepare you for something worse than what happens than prepare you for something less than what happens, because it's when we prepare you for the lower end, that's when people die.
Yep.
What's up, Jan?
Yep.
It all boils down to the unpredictability of the weather.
Yep, exactly.
Well, and
that cap could have very easily have been popped off. Then you would have been in trouble.
I'm just happy you're all safe, because I was worried about you, to be honest.
Well, thank you, but I'll tell you this right now. My apartment specifically survived 120-mile-per-hour winds, straight line, and Mike's probably survived closer to 140s. So both of our apartment buildings are capable of surviving a lot. But when you're talking about tornadoes, it's not about how fast the wind is going. It's about the number of air molecules that are hitting every square inch of that dwelling at the same time. So the more air molecules that are hitting the side of a door or the side of a wall or whatever, the more damage it will do. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Now, before we go on, there is one thing I gotta do. Intros. First, I'm your host for tonight. I am Oddball Extreme. I'm currently on the line with 4 of my crazy cohorts. To my left, we have our master creator, Frodo. Hello, Frodo.
Or Weatherman, Frodo.
Yeah.
You want to talk about crazy cohort?
Yeah. All right. To my right, we have our resident Joker, Mike. Hello, Mike.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
Not Monday.
Right. Below left is our tiny sus, Janet. Hello, Janet.
Hola. Hello, everybody.
And finally, below right is our Chloe tail, Chloe. Hello, Chloe.
Yeehaw! It was my birthday yesterday.
Well, happy birthday yesterday.
Happy late birthday, Chloe.
Yep.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, friend Chloe. Happy birthday to you. And please excuse my off-key singing.
Yep.
Thank you.
And Sajo's in the chat as well. Hey, Sajo.
Hey, Saj.
All right. But, yeah, you go ahead, Finish your explanation,
What
Frodo.
what I was going to finish up saying is, if you ever hear weather people talk about caps or wind shear or anything, it's a lot of ingredients that make up a tornado.
Mm-hmm.
If I really want to, and I could in a moment here, if you're okay with it, Jan, surely. I mean,
Yeah. But before you do, let me explain something. My voice sounds a little hoarse because I was enjoying the NFL draft over the weekend. I was really happy some of my guys from Alabama made it. So,
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that, but I didn't want to be rude.
no, it's fine. But yeah, that's why my voice is a little off.
so
I,
here's
I
what I'm
thought
going
you
to do.
swallowed a little horse.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going into whiteboard mode for a little bit, you guys, and this is why. So when you have a tornadic weather, generally speaking, you have things that rotate in this general direction that is counterclockwise. There is some tornadoes that spin this way, that's anticyclonics,
Yep.
and sometimes anticyclonics can be even more damaging than the cyclonics,
Mm-hmm.
but generally speaking, you have anticyclonics. When you have a cloud bank, okay, and a bunch of storms are forming, one of the things you have to do, sorry, I got someone trying to call me, and I'm gonna put, have them, hold on. Ah, frick. I'll just let it go to voicemail. I'm gonna stop my webcam because I'm gonna focus on what I'm doing, okay?
Okay.
So then you got your storms. Let's just say that this is a cloud, a big cloud, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have that and boom. Okay. So inside of a storm, you'll have what's called a mesocyclone. What that is the updraft. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the updraft going up. Okay. And with enough wind shear, which is wind going in different directions, that will start to spin. That produces the cyclone. Okay. That's what produces the mesocyclone.
Mm-hmm.
Then going back to the cap. So we're going to change colors here for a minute. So this is going to be warm air going up. But if you have a cap, that means that at like this level, the air temperature is higher. So let's use an example that this could be 90 and the upcoming air is 70. So what happens here is that because this air rushing up is cooler than the air in the cap, it cannot punch through and produce taller mesocyclones, which is what you need for really strong storms. Is very tall mesocyclones. Remember, there's two parts of a storm. You have the updraft and the downdraft, and the downdraft is always going to have rain in it. So if you have an updraft that's 70 degrees, hits a cap of 90, it can't get through. Even if it's spinning, it just can't get through. But let's just say your updraft is, let's go 95 degrees. Okay. So that puts this updraft much warmer than the air, than the cap. So that will cause it to pop through the cap and produce a tall mesocyclone. And when you have a tall mesocyclone and this kind of situation going on, very close to where it usually is the actual updraft, but sometimes it forms off from it. You'll get wall clouds, and that's a wall cloud, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll have coming out of those wall clouds the great tornadoes. So once you get these, this is kind of the end all be all of storms. So updraft, downdraft are the two major parts of the storm.
Mm-hmm.
And you got caps and wind shear and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to everyone?
Mm-hmm. It does.
How about you, Sajo? I want to make sure that everything I'm saying is not like being lost in translation.
Yeah. So
I mean,
basically,
this is very, 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 very general. So
mm-hmm.
there's a lot of other stuff you have to have for good tornado formation. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, this is what causes tornadoes to happen is a good updraft, good downdraft, good mesocyclone, just all of this.
Yep.
And like I said, most tornadoes are counterclockwise, but the anticyclonics are clockwise. Sometimes you even get multiple vortice tornadoes where the tornado itself will have multiple small vortices coming off of it, like that. Or sometimes you'll get one that has a vortice that goes like that. And those are really bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's essentially what essentially happened was we were dealing with a 90-degree cap and the air coming up was only 87 degrees or something like that.
So
So
it never broke the.
it never broke through the cap, and if it would have, we would have been boned.
Yep. But instead, you end up with a nice, pretty day, right?
Yep. So yeah, just explaining that to you guys that listen to the show. I know that my drawing is very simplistic and very
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you fine, Chloe.
Finally. That took a while.
So
Are you
what you
done
have a
sharing the
question?
whiteboard, Frodo?
I was having
Do you have a
tech
question,
issues.
Chloe? Okay. Did I explain that well enough to you?
I didn't hear really any of it because I was having tech issues.
Oh.
Tornadoes are caused by an updraft. The updraft has to go through sometimes a cap. Cap is too hot. The warmer air from the air coming up through the updraft can't break through. That's when the cap is holding. You if the cap breaks, you can get the wall cloud to come down, and if the wall cloud comes down and the conditions are right, you'll get a tornado. There's always a downdraft to a storm. The two main parts of a storm are always updraft and downdraft. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I know I'm weird.
We all
Nice.
are.
Yeah.
All
Go ahead.
5 of us.
But yeah, I'm one of those people that a lot of people don't think about the possible ramifications of a storm, but I'm like, oh. I mean, I normally, when we're in enhanced risk, I'll post on my Facebook about it and let people know. But the kinematics were showing a lot of northbound trajectory and not a lot of southbound trajectory. So even though we were under an enhanced risk, I still felt like it wasn't gonna come up to anything. And I'm glad I was right.
Oh, I
I mean,
agree.
could have.
Yeah. I
It
mean,
could have.
yeah. The situation could have been much, much worse, but thankfully, nothing happened.
Janet,
I'm here.
one of these days you're going to need to come to Iowa when we're under high a heightened risk of severe weather.
I don't think she'd
Well,
want to do that.
if I'm forced to do that, you'll be cleaning up my mess off your floor. Because
No,
I will
I'll
be
keep you
scared
safe.
shitless.
I'll keep you safe. Put it this way,
You'll be scared
Mike.
shitless.
Mike trusts my judgment when it comes to severe weather, don't you, Mike?
Hold on. Be
He's
right
muted.
back.
He's busy helping Tim, but that's okay. All right. Here's me. Sorry.
Shit, I gotta go. There's an emergency.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Emergency! Emergency! Run, Will Robinson, run!
Oh. Beat it, Will Robinson. Beat it. No.
No, you know what it should be right now?
What?
Bait it, Mr. Joker, bait it. BATE.
Yeah.
Anyway, continuing. Do you got any stories for us today?
Well, I mean, I got some more that'd be better fit for political catch up tomorrow. So, but yeah, yeah, we decided to delay Monday Mayhem to tonight, and political catch up is tomorrow. So,
Yeah, and the only reason for that, like we said, is just as an overabundance of safety, overabundance of caution. We'd much rather miss a day of episodes than have to deal with mine and Mike's guts splattered all over the city.
You want to know something? I'd rather err on the side of caution than not do anything at all.
uh-huh.
So that's what you did. You erred on the side of caution.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, like I said, I had to say it in a brutal way just because, that's the kind of person I like to be as a goof.
Okay, I think I may have found something that's gonna really make you wonder how in the world this happened. A kangaroo recovered after getting loose on I-85 in central Alabama.
Well, there you
It
go,
must have
Shirley.
escaped from the Alabama Zoo.
No? Okay. And now this was today, okay, in Macon County. Good pun to start the story. If you hopped onto Interstate 85 Tuesday morning, you literally weren't alone. Commuters reported seeing a marsupial on a mission. The wayward kangaroo caused two vehicles to crash, oh God, according to the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, as it made its way from Lee County into Macon County. Commuters spotted the creature and filmed it near the 46-mile marker. Yep, there's some pictures. The Roo temporarily shut down the busy interstate in both directions as law enforcement and its owner conversed on the area in an attempt to recapture it. At one point, it left the road and headed into the wood line. Macon County Sheriff Andre Brunson was live with updates on the peculiar pursuit, confirming that the animal was tranquilized before it was scooped up and taken back to a waiting vehicle. Wow, a kangaroo in Tuskegee, Alabama, Macon County. We see a little bit of everything here, the sheriff said.
I thought Macon County was in Georgia.
No. We got Macon County right over here, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't tie their kangaroo down, sport.
Yep. Anyway, Aaliyah.
I just gotta say, so if we hear about Shirley deciding she wants to be a kangaroo trainer, we now know where that came from.
Yep. Anyway,
Did they find out where the kangaroo came from?
well, hold on. Aaliyah said the kangaroo was ultimately recovered and the roadway was reopened. Despite causing the wrecks, there were no injuries reported, Aaliyah said. The animal's owner, who declined an interview, said it was healthy and resting after recapture.
Oh, it was somebody's pet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know you can keep
Surely.
exotics.
As long as
What
I think
would
you have a
you have
license. Yeah, what?
What would you have said if you would have ran into that kangaroo?
I would have been calling authorities.
My reaction would have been, holy shit,
Yeah.
what's a kangaroo doing here?
It's like a kangaroo in Alabama, and then but this was the head. Oh shoot! Let me go back to it again. No, try again.
Excuse us. We are not the extreme professionals like Jesse Dollamore and them. We
No, we're
do
not.
have
Okay. Yeah. So I think Josh Johnson said, if a kangaroo on ID5 is in your bingo card.
Yeah, well,
I don't think
my 2025 bingo card didn't include having two of my family die, so my bingo card is kind of fucked for this year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's what he said. If you had kangaroo on I-85 in Lee County on your bingo card, claim your prize.
Oh man.
Excuse me.
You know what a kangaroo kick feels like?
Do you?
It's like being kicked by a Kentucky mule. And when kangaroos kick, they go straight for the crotch.
Well, that lends me one big question. How the hell?
That? How do I know?
Yeah.
I watch a lot of videos.
Mm-hmm.
Still, how the hell would you know? I mean, serious talk. You. Never mind. I'm gonna shut
I've
up.
watched lots of videos, Frodo. I gave you my damned answer.
I know that, but I was just gonna say, you don't even have anything down there to worry about.
Yeah, but every time I've watched a video, it's been a man who's been a trainer, been trying to mess with him, and the kangaroo reared back and wham, right where it hurt. So that's how I know. Let's see if I can find anything on
Well, let's see.
Microsoft here.
Micro sucks a dick.
Okay. As if airlines aren't having enough problems, I won't read the article. It's from Viral Press 14 hours ago. Passengers evacuated from plane due to bomb scare in Florida. Okay. Not interested in the bread recall.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna recall you. How's
Just
that
what
sound,
we need
Dan?
is 23 more Starlink satellites up in orbit.
I think I found something.
What's that?
Houston Fire Department terminates 12 cadets ahead of graduation for racist and hateful behavior. Chief confirms. Ooh, okay. So, this is from the Houston Chronicle. A dozen Houston Fire Department cadets were terminated for hateful and racist behavior, Chief Thomas Munoz said in a statement. The cadets were dismissed on April 18th, ABC 13 reported, after they continued to share racist memes despite receiving a warning. The dismissal came just a week before HFD welcomed two new cadet classes during a graduation ceremony on Thursday. Let's see. The 12 cadets, members of graduating class 2024D, were not yet sworn members of HFD, Munoz said. An investigation into the concerning behavior was conducted by both HFD's Professional Standards Division and the city's Office of Inspector General, he said. Racism and hateful behavior.
Did you just say Official Sandwich Division?
No, Professional Standards Division.
Okay, standards. It sounded like sandwich there for a second.
Yeah, that's right. I can just see a Professional Sandwich Division.
Give her a break. Her voice is crackly.
No, it's fine.
I know. I'm just giving her a little. I'm having fun because she's.
You know what? We need to come up with something like a Professional Sandwich Division. That'd be hilarious. I got it.
I'm not sport-phoning.
A Professional Sandwich Division and the city's Office of Dinner General. Dollar General. That's better.
Or how about the city office of condiments?
Well, we have to put the city sandwich official under the office of bread and cheeses, you know?
Yeah. All right. Now let's
Okay, go
now
on.
get
Where'd
back to the
Chloe go?
seriousness. Oh, she
Where'd
had to
Chloe
go.
go?
She had to go.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, back to the seriousness here. Racism and hateful behavior have no home in Mayor Whitmire's administration or the Houston Fire Department, the statement reads. All HFD cadets complete a code of conduct and standards training ahead of graduation, in addition to receiving a citywide executive order on discrimination and harassment, according to the department. No trainee shall engage in any form of speech or expression likely to be construed as a racial, sexual, or religious joke or slur, whether in the presence of other trainees, staff, or other individuals. HFD's Training Code of Conduct and Standards document reads, trainees will not display any type of behavior which may be construed as disrespectful or inappropriate to another trainee, staff, or any other individual. And that is the end of that story. But, oh boy.
Well, you want to know something? Probably they didn't like the Latinos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not using their generic term. They probably didn't
Um,
like all the Latinos in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I'm saying on
I'll,
that.
I'll say this right now. If
Did I say something wrong?
No, 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 no. What I was gonna say, Jan, is that, if someone doesn't like someone just because of the color of their skin, then you've got a problem. Here's something that happened earlier today. On one of my groups called Iowa Uncensored,
Mm-hmm.
we had a guy praising Donald Trump. And I was like, what really bothers the fuck out of me right now? The fact that since Trump 1 happened, the people who had hate in their hearts so deeply decided to start coming out of the woodwork.
I
And
believe that.
it's sickening to me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to get political, but I'm sick and tired of all these people who see anyone that is different from them
You're gonna shut the
as
bedroom
less
door. You know who is having a debate with somebody on it's one of the news channels.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I hate when people view others as less than, you know,
Mm-hmm.
less than a human, less than a person, less than an American, non-citizen. Who gives a shit? All of us
You
are human. All of us have 23 pairs of fucking chromosomes. The only difference between each human is literally 0.001% of our DNA. And of that, 99% of that 0.001% of our DNA is just unique to our species and not unique to the individual.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's stupid.
go ahead and finish, Roto. I can wait.
We're every single one of us, man, woman, and child, has pretty much the same exact genetic code, except for the few differences that make us different. So that I don't look like Janet, Janet doesn't look like Shirley, and so on and so forth.
Mike doesn't look like you, whatever. You know what? There's a song. It's a religious song, but I'm only going to say part of it. Red, yellow, black, white, we're all precious in his sight.
Mm-hmm.
There's that, but it's not even just about that, Jan. I'm breaking it down to the science of it because there's so many people who see others that are different as less than. And it frustrates the shit out of me because it's like, I'm less than you, what's that mean to me? If you're less than me, what's that mean to you? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're all the same, just a little different.
We're all the same species. We're all Homo sapiens.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, here's something interesting. This is from Amtrak. Passenger rail is officially coming back to the Gulf Coast for the first time in nearly 20 years. I love this, the new Amtrak Mardi Gras service will launch soon.
I like the name.
Yeah, will launch soon with twice daily trains between New Orleans and Mobile, making stops in Bay St. Louis, Gulfport, Biloxi, and Pascagoula. It's more than a new route, it's a chance to skip the traffic, relax with plenty of legroom and Wi Fi, and enjoy the scenic beauty of the region. Like
Oh,
that.
so that means if we wanted to go to New Orleans from Mobile,
We could take a train instead of a car.
yeah, leave our car parked.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I like that. That's good. It's good to have that back. Because I think Mobile didn't have it for a long time because of that accident with that one train, if I remember correctly.
Hmm. Take a swallow of water and try and clear your throat, okay?
I know. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I'll take some water. Mm.
You're still trouble, Jan, Shirley.
So what? Let's see. Oh, yeah. On Sunday, I went to see the 20th anniversary of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
And
And it still held up. There was a nice intro by Hayden Christensen, too.
who is Hayden Christensen?
He was the one who played Anakin Skywalker, who eventually turned into Darth Vader. Yeah, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert for a 20-year-old movie, I'm not calling it that.
But yeah. But I'm not gonna lie. There's some things from that movie that really fit today. Like probably one of the most well known is when Padme, when the Senate's realizing the Senate's applauding Palpatine for the Republic turning into the first galactic empire. She says, "This is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause." It's like that rings a bell.
Yeah, I was thinking that
In our
when
current state of affairs.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, Shirley,
Yeah.
tomorrow night, can you bring up that one subject you mentioned to me this morning with
Uh.
Frodo tomorrow night?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'll tell you about it after
Yeah.
the show, Frodo.
all right.
Yeah. Uh, oh wow. Huh. Listen to this. WNBA's entire preseason to be broadcast and streamed for the first time in league history. And of course, on the cover of this picture is Caitlin Clark.
Oh,
Well, why wouldn't
guess
she
what's
be?
taking?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you've had the playoffs for football. You've had the playoff for basketball.
Uh huh.
Baseball's in full swing, but guess what's taking over the basketball? Would you believe soccer?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm not surprised. You see, soccer is basically the most popular sport in the world, except here.
Well, I don't know. Soccer's picking up a little now.
Yeah, I know, but it's just that we've been so used to football, basketball, baseball, and hockey. Right.
Right. The only reason I know that hockey's uh, soccer's started trying to take over is because of the fact that the preempted funny home video Sunday night,
Mm-hmm.
last night. No, it put it on at 8 o'clock. Excuse me.
Ah. Let's
But
see. Oh yeah, Thunderbolts is out this week. New Marvel
that's
movie.
out Friday.
Yep. Now some people have already got to see it, and so far the reviews have been good. So
Well, hopefully it'll do good at the box office.
yep. I hope so too. Of course, the big one is in July. You've got Superman on July 11th and Fantastic Four First Steps on July 25th, just 2 weeks later. So
Do you think the Fantastic Four movie will do good,
I
decent?
I think so. You got paid. Almost everything Pedro Pascal has done has been turned to gold. So
Okay, we hope that his streak lasts.
yeah, of
But
course, he was probably the one shining moment in Wonder Woman 1984.
the one what
Well,
in
The what?
1984?
Well, it was a shining moment because the movie was not the best movie, but he was great as Maxwell Lord. Go ahead, Frodo.
I was gonna say, I honestly, I I'm one of those weird ones that actually did like the original Fantastic Four movies,
Mm-hmm.
uh, with uh with Jessica Alba and that.
And Ian Griffith, yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were really good, but then again, uh, maybe I'm in the minority, but
Mm-hmm.
I thought even though Galactus didn't look anything like him, uh, I think that they they portrayed the threat of him well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally thought it was decent.
Mm-hmm.
Could it have been better? Yes, if they would have actually showed Galactus and not just Big Cloud.
Yeah, that was the thing that made a lot of people upset on that one. But this time they actually will have Galactus for real. So
Good.
yeah, they will have Galactus. But I think a lot of people are crying foul. It's like, why is there a female Silver Surfer? Well, hello, there's been a female Silver Surfer in the comics. So it's like, grow up,
Yes,
people.
and this is exactly what I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting so sick and fucking tired of people doing this whole holier than thou bullshit
Uh huh.
with people's differences.
Right.
That's why I get pissed off about it, is because people complain about everything.
Yeah.
Fucking, if you don't like it, fine, but let others fucking enjoy what they like. For
Yeah,
fuck's sake.
because there's a group I follow, and let me go see if I can find it.
Mike, are you okay?
He's busy. I know he's been busy helping Tim. But yeah, there was something about James Gunn and Zack Snyder. Because of course,
Yeah, and then I saw I think it was yesterday,
uh huh.
this video showing, like, I think it was Saturday Night Live,
Mm-hmm.
talking about how they get idiot to sign all the executive orders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Here it is. This is the post. Knock it off with Zack Snyder, James Gunn bashing and provoking the opposite side. This kind of behavior goes against one of our rules, and if you folks keep it up, suspension or bans will be coming. Our world is full of problems. Stop creating new ones. And I had posted, I had commented, if it's one thing to like something, but trying to force others to like it or dislike it is just plain wrong.
And it is. It's
I'll give you an example. A lot of people hated the 2002 Thunderbirds movie. I liked it.
2004.
I liked it.
Uh huh.
you know
But there were a lot of people
there's a
out there
mo-
that didn't, but they didn't matter to me.
Yep. Go ahead, Frodo.
there's a movie that I like that a lot of people think is so over camp and stupid, but I can't help it because I like the humor in it.
Okay.
You want to know
What
what
movie
movie
is
that
that?
is?
Yes, please.
What?
Team America World Police.
Ah, that's
I
the
never did see it, so I can't form an opinion one
yeah,
way or another.
It's the one that was made by the creators of South
South Park.
Park,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
and it had like instead of having animation, it was all puppetry and shit.
Yeah.
Send up a Thunderbirds.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a Send up a Thunderbirds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, was it the best movie in the world? Fuck no. But it was
Mm-hmm.
funny for what it was.
Yeah, and I'll give
I
it a
think I would have had a problem with South Park's thorough potty humor.
yeah. Well, I'll give you a good classic example myself. Back in the 80s, there were two different Ghostbusters cartoons. You had Filmation's Ghostbusters and the real Ghostbusters. I was never really into the real Ghostbusters because it got too scientific for my 11 to 12-year-old brain at the time. I like Filmation's Ghostbusters more because it was more fun. It was more fun. I felt more relatable to that one. But some people told me eat shit, or it's like, look,
You know,
I know I'm in the minority, but you don't see me trying to force you to dislike real, do I? No.
and it's the same type of thing with me. Like, okay, I even as a kid, and I was like 6 when that show came out. I was huge on the whole aspect of it being so scientific.
Uh huh.
Egon sounding like Egon, and that's
Yeah.
one thing I liked.
Yeah.
But that's different strokes for different folks.
Right. It's
It's
like,
not
It's
like I'm
like
telling you.
go ahead
Go
and
ahead,
finish,
Jay.
Frodo.
you're not
I was
gonna
just
you're
saying,
not gonna call me a piece of shit just because I don't like the real Ghostbusters and I prefer Filmation's Ghostbusters.
and you know what? I call it like I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has the right to their fucking opinion, and if someone
Exactly.
has a problem with someone else's opinion, well, maybe listen to them before you judge them,
Pass judgment.
because
Yeah.
They made
because
they
what
made they made Filmation's Ghostbusters and Real Ghostbusters for two different age groups.
Mm-hmm.
The Real
exactly.
Ghostbusters
And
is for the
It's
not the
the
tweens,
yeah.
the 12
and
to
the more scientifically oriented.
Mm-hmm.
yes. And Filmation's Ghostbusters was made for the younger set, like Shirley.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm gonna say, okay? Like, I gave you your fair shot to say why you did like the real Ghostbusters, and then I countered you with the reason I actually did.
Right.
And the reason me and you differ is exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yours, you think it's too scientific,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought the real Ghostbusters was just scientific enough to keep my attention because I've always been the kid who wanted to learn and gain knowledge.
Sure. It makes sense. And as you can see, we have constructive criticism here. We're not going to name call him. We're not going to say you better dislike it or else, or you better like this or else. We don't do that kind of thing because, my God, I cannot stand when people try to shove opinions down everybody's throat.
God damn it, Shirley, you're wrong. No, just
This was with Ray. When I was talking to her on the phone, we started bouncing back and forth about the different hosts of Price is Right. I said, I like Bob Barker. Bob Barker's a piece of crap. That just is, and I quit while I was ahead with her,
Yeah, that's good
Well,
thinking.
but
she has every right to her opinion, just like Mike has every right to his opinion that he's a lonely old man at this point.
But
yeah,
yeah, I
but
mean, and when it comes to Bob Barker and Drew Carey, I grew up on Bob Barker. But what?
As did I,
Yeah,
but I can see positives in Drew Carey's style as well.
yeah, and I like the fact that Drew is doing it in his own style, not trying to emulate Bob, which is actually the smart move. Because if he tried
you know
that,
what he
show him
does?
a dead.
He keeps Bob Barker alive by telling you to spay and neuter your pets,
Hmm.
but he also makes a reference to taking care of your mental health.
Yeah, that's true. And
And trust
So,
me,
yeah, and
this
also,
last couple of weeks for me has been hard on that.
yeah, it's just that yeah, Bob Barker, of course, had Barker's beauties, but you don't on when it comes to Drew Carey, you don't see Carey's cuties or Drew's dolls. No, he refers to the models by name, which is nice. And of course, now I think he's got at least one male model on the team. So,
Two, two.
oh, two now. Okay, thank you.
I'm pretty sure he has two now. But
Okay,
what I was
that's
gonna,
good.
but what I was gonna say is, yeah, he has the uh he has the ability to show off the women as cute, but you know what?
Hmm.
I agree with you. I prefer when someone someone likes to do things their way.
Yeah, I'd rather see Drew do it his own way. Is if he tried to emulate Bob Barker, show would have been dead right there.
Yeah, but and here's the thing: Drew Carey has his own style of comedy.
Hmm.
If you didn't like the Drew Carey show, I'm sorry, but I thought that show was fucking brilliant.
I thought it was great, and he was so awesome as the host line as the Anyway host too.
What did you say, honey? Oh, Sarah agrees that she thinks that the that Drew Carey show was fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah, I thought it was too. I'd watch that once in a while, but oh boy, whose line is it anyway? When he was the host, ooh, it was great.
especially when he puts out scenes from a hat.
Yeah, I always love scenes from a hat.
Oh, but geez, no wonder they showed Who's Line on at late night.
Yeah.
Some of those skits were risque.
Yep.
Hey, I don't mind them, but then again, I don't give a shit about pretty much anything risque.
Hmm.
Got a question. Would you in your right mind want to see something risque in prime time?
Honestly, at this point, I'm to the opinion where I really don't care. I think that people need to get I think a lot of humans, and this is just my opinion, especially people in our Western society, need to get over themselves because they complain about everything. Um, you know, you see the
Excuse me.
slightest you see the slightest uh side boob uh on like fucking primetime TV, and people get all fucking up and uppity about it, and I'm like, so I really don't. I think that's the sex and stuff that people have a problem with. We should be more akin to like Europe.
Yeah.
Okay, you in Europe, you see in Europe and Japan, you see boobs in fucking shows all the time. It's not that boobs are sexualized there. It's just it's part of nature.
Hmm.
You won't watch like hardcore sex scenes, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Hmm.
Maybe a little bit less fucking censorship would be a good thing. And that's part of the reason this show exists is because we're sick and tired of fucking bullshit,
Yeah.
bullshit
Uh,
censorship. There we go.
uh-huh. Go ahead, Janet.
You compare a show like the I Love Lucy show from back then. Back then, they didn't even sleep together
Oh
as a
yeah,
married couple.
yeah,
But in the when it came up to the 70s, it was almost anything goes.
yeah. It's like unless
And
it's I guess the Flintstones I think was the first um, TV couple to actually sleep together in a bed on primetime TV.
uh, and then sexual activities, they were implied.
Mm-hmm.
They go into a room, shut the door. What goes on behind that closed door was implied. Nowadays, it there's nothing left to the imagination.
Yeah, it's like that.
Nothing at all.
It's like here's a good example. Second episode of WandaVision. Um, it was took place in the '60s. The two started off separate in their beds, but then Wanda used magic, brought the beds together, and then Vision says, "Wanda, yes, turn out the light."
But
So
for me, for my opinion, I really am to the point where I don't think that censorship is really necessary anymore. You know, uh,
hmm
as far as what goes on, most people
Excuse me.
know.
bless you.
Excuse me.
People know
Go
Frodo.
ahead, Frodo. I'm done.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Most people know, including kids. I mean, think about the song "The Bad Touch" by the Bloodhound Gang. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. But so yeah, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. And then you got freaking Eminem who sang basically that kids nowadays watch the fucking uh what's it called, the Discovery Channel, and figure out what's going on. It's like people just need to
Don't give a flying gnat's ass.
hmm
get over themselves is what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Get over themselves with regards to
about
who
opinions
fucking
because it's one thing to say I could say something like I think Mask is the
yeah.
greatest cartoon ever made. It's like that's a sure fact. No, it's not. It's my opinion.
And I agree with you. Mask was a good show,
Oh yeah, it's
but
still one of all my
but
still one of my all time faves.
but I have to counter you and say I kind of liked the humor in the Mask better than I did just Mask.
Oh, I know
The-
some of the puns were terrible on Mask. I'm not gonna lie on that one.
You know what one of my favorite parts of the movie, The Mask, was?
What?
I'm talking
He's in
about the
the nightclub,
cartoon.
Yeah.
and the gangsters see him. He hops up on the shelf, and the gangsters see him, and they shot him full of bullets. And he went over the desk.
Uh
He hops back up, and he says, "Did you miss me?"
huh.
He drinks orange juice, and he looks down.
Oh
All the
yeah.
bullet holes are squiggly.
Yeah.
Yes, not.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just that I swear some of the puns on the 1980s Mask cartoon were so bad.
Such as example.
Let's see. Well, usually they're said by T Bob. Oh, I got it. There was one episode. He and Scott just got rescued by Matt. They're Scott's dad, Matt, and when Matt tells him, don't get involved in the mission again, T Bob says, "You could definitely leaf me out."
But
But
yeah,
believe it, but here's a shocker. I did not realize this. One of the writers on the 1980s Mask cartoon is Chuck Lorre.
You mean the guy that went on to do 2.5 Men?
Yes.
yeah,
No
I'm not
wonder
a
he
big
was so
fan of
good at his writing.
Yeah.
I never was a big fan of Two and a Half Men. I mean, there's people that'll say it was a great show, and while I do agree it
It
was good in
was. It
some.
was until
Charlie Sheen went.
Charlie Sheen started showing his ass.
He went cuckoo.
Well, Charlie Sheen showing his ass is just normal for Charlie Sheen. I mean, my wife just laughed at that. So,
But
Oh,
yeah,
did
I
she
mean,
laugh when Charlie Sheen? Charlie Sheen got split, got flattened by a falling piano. That's how they
did
ended
you?
him on the show.
yeah.
I know, I know, it was stupid, but it was
hmm
still.
But that's the thing. What makes the world go around is we've got different opinions. We don't have to agree, but it's very important to respect the opinion.
Yep.
It's like Frodo and I
Kind of
could
like I.
like Frodo and I could disagree on Mask and the Mask, but you don't see us going at each other's throats, calling each other names, or saying I'm right, you're wrong, blah blah blah. We're not going to do that.
God damn it, Shirley! You have no dates, motherfucker. You see, and that's the thing. Me and Shirley know each other well enough to know that he's aware
You
that
know
I
how to
was
play
just
off each other.
Yeah,
In other words,
exactly.
exactly, and that was just a joke. And Shirley knows that there was no ill will in me saying that. It was just trying to get a laugh.
Exactly. It's like some of these stories I've seen, like Vivid Tales or Fractures, or whatever. There are some cases where we've got people playing pranks, but these pranks are not funny. They're actually hurting people.
Chloe, are you all right?
Yeah, we're all right.
Okay.
I just wanted to check because you left really quick and I was a little bit concerned.
It was just a little bit of a scare is all.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, it is getting close to time being almost up. So here's the game plan for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, it's political catch up with Frodo and me. Thursday, it's Pac-Man for myself, and Friday game night will be Rotten Apples. So
if it works
Um,
for me,
yeah,
if it freaking
unless,
works for me,
unless of course you want to try getting that Death Note game and we start trying that out.
yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, Frodo. I'm not particularly interested in Death Note.
That's fine. It's kind of like a freaking another form of Among Us in a way.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of thinking about it for was we can do it kind of a mental test for everyone.
Yeah, that's definitely a thought. But
Maddie's hanging around.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The issue we had, it was just a bit of a scare is all. Everything's
okay, okay, you don't have to tell us. It's fine.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'd rather not.
that's fine because we don't believe in doing that. But anyway, that's
We don't
basically
discuss private shit on the air.
yep.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, Sajo said it perfectly. Fuck censorship. I got that right. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the ending. So hang on for 15 seconds. All right. So with that in mind, I'm gonna say love, peace, and chicken grease. Everyone have a great night. Sleep well. Stay safe. Frodo and I will be
Bye.
here tomorrow for our political catch up, and the rest of us will be here Friday for Rotten Apples. So, peace.
Oh, political
Everyone,
catch
don't
up. I
cause
get
too
the
much
joke now.
trouble.
Yep, you heard the man.